Hey Divas, welcome or welcome back. It's your girl Keisha here with another video, and we are continuing Vlogmas. We are currently in the budget series. We're going to have 3 series this month: budgeting, planning, and then lifestyle and all the other things that can fit in that category. So we're still in our budgeting series, and today, girl, we're going to set up my paycheck for the first week. And matter of fact, I think I might do it a little bit different this time, setting up all my paychecks for the week, for the month of December. So if you like budgeting, cash stuffing, savings challenges, every and all things that have to do with your money, I would love for you to subscribe, but more importantly, don't move. So girl, yesterday I showed you my, we set up the December monthly budget. We did all the things we had to do here. And now it's time for us to set up my paycheck breakdown. So if you're new here, I budget weekly. I only get paid pretty much once a month. I keep saying pretty much because I have little side hustles, right? Like I sell my planners and things like that. I also do a financial consultant. So that money isn't consistent. Like I don't get paid every 15th or something like that. So when that money comes in, it just kind of comes in. So when I budget, I only budget on money that I know is like guaranteed income per se. And that's the money that we receive in the beginning of the month. So the beginning of the month, it's important for me to manage throughout the month all of our expenses, because everything does not come out the first of the month. Things come out the 17th of the month, right? So it's important for me to manage our expenses throughout the month. And as I'm talking it through with you guys, I'm thinking I might make some changes for 2025, because why can't I pay everything at the beginning of the month? I mean, I get paid at the beginning of the month. No need for me to have something come out later in the month, with the exception of subscriptions and those sorts of things which is on auto that have to be paid. You know, at the time when I started the subscription, I might just start paying the majority of my bills like right out the gate to get it done with. But nonetheless, we're not there today. We still have a plethora of bills that have different due dates. So what I was thinking of doing today, because I mentioned in my previous videos that I've kind of been falling behind as it comes to my weekly paychecks, that I think I'm just going to go ahead and set up my weekly paychecks for the entire month. That way it should be a quick 1-2 boom bam bip to come in and, you know, update them or just check on them as need be. Because for me to set it up and do all of that, that's when I kind of get like, oh, girl, I don't got the time to do it. Or I make some other excuse that just really isn't an excuse. So I think we should go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and start filling out the beginning parts of the paycheck. Okay, so the month is December, but let's do the pay period. So my pay period, because I get paid at the beginning of the month, I can dictate my pay periods. Oh, so this is perfect because December 1st started on a Sunday. So I'm going to do the 1st through the 5th. Okay. The next week, I'll do the 6th through the 13th. The next week, I'll do the 14th through the 20th. And then I'll do the 21st through the 31st. Okay? That's going to be my paycheck breakdown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my income for the first week in December. So let's go ahead and fill that in, and I'm going to get that right off of my prep work that I did during my monthly budget. So let's go ahead and fill that in. You know, when I budget, I like to budget in erasable pens. Okay, so from the 1st to the 5th, the income I'm going to be bringing in is $14,190. And I've included my $700 Christmas sinking funds that we talked about during the monthly setup. So now I'm going to write the bills that I anticipate paying the 1st through the 5th. And I could do so by just coming here and referencing this, or I can just reference this little sheet that I have here. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll walk you through it once I'm done. Okay, I filled everything in. Then I'm expecting to pay the 1st through the 5th. So let me go ahead and add everything up. Okay, so after I pay all my bills that are due the 1st through the 5th, I would have paid $6,758. Once I subtract that from my total income, my leftover is $7,432. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this down. I'm not doing any additional savings right now. So that'll be 0. Okay, now we're coming over here to the variable expenses. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to budget the entire amount that I have for the month. So let me fill it in and then I'll explain to you what I mean. Okay, so what I'm going to do is whatever amount that we budgeted for on the monthly page, when we did our monthly setup yesterday, I am just going to bring that over here, and it'll make sense once I fill it in and explain to you the plan. Okay, so what I did here is I filled in all the variable expenses the same way that we budgeted for on the monthly budget. So let's go to gas and car charging, right? So for here, I had $125. For allowance, I had $420. I have $420. For groceries, I said $700. I have $700. So what I'm gonna do, this is pretty much like my home base. So what we'll do for the rest of the month, and I might even do this next year, is that we're gonna start off with what we budgeted for, and then we're just gonna kind of update the actual each week and then just take the rollover. So say for groceries, and I used to do that all the time anyway. For groceries, I will pull out all the cash anyway for groceries. Let's say $700, but I only spend $200. So that means the following week I start with $500 and so forth and so on. So at least I know exactly where I started with, and I can really make sure that I'm staying within the budget that I came up with for the monthly budget. Does that make sense? Let me know down in the comments below if you think that makes sense for me, just to roll over my balance throughout the month. Okay, so this is what I plan on spending for my variable expenses for the month of December. Now, the only thing, the business is not really a variable expense because this has my Canva subscription and some other subscriptions, but this is the best place for me to put this right now until next year when I start doing my business budget completely separate from this one. Okay, so that's where we are. So let's come down to the sinking funds and savings challenges. So like I said, the 52 week, I think I just need to add $200 in there. And I think that's all I'm going to use for my sinking funds and savings challenges. I do have some money set aside that I had from November to stuff into my travel binder. I just never set up the whole travel binder, so I'm not going to include that here in my income because it's separate, and I don't want to convolute things. So you will probably see me do a cash stuffing in my travel binder this month, quite possibly. But just know, if you're like, girl, where did you get this $500 from? Just know it's not from here. It's $500 that I had in November. I told you guys I didn't really keep track of my budget too tightly in November because I was doing a lot of moving and shaking. But just know your girl got $500 stashed for my travel binder. Okay, let's continue with this. So that's the only cash stuffing I'm doing for the month of December. So that is $200. So minus the balance, that leaves me $4,497. Let's come down here. So what I want to do with this, I'm going to roll this over. So now we have everything is accounted for. So we have a zero-based budget there because every dollar has a job. So this extra $4,497 is to stay put so that I can cover the bills for the following week. All right, so this makes sense. This is where I would typically end the video with you guys. But like I said, we're going to do a little bit of prep work for the upcoming weeks as well. Okay, so we're going to start We're gonna now work on the 6th to the 13th. So the only thing I'm gonna do this pay period is just my bills, because I'm not gonna do my income, because a couple things. I can get some income coming in, right? And once I actually come in and do the actual amount, this $4,497 might be more or less. So I don't want to write that over here, and that's not what it is, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and write the bills that are due between the 6th and the 13th. Let's go ahead and fill that in. Okay, the 6th to the 13th is pretty quiet. I don't have much going on here. So let's go ahead and total this up and see where we are. Okay, I thought about it as I was writing these bills down. What we are gonna do is I am gonna go ahead and bring that amount over from week 1. $44.97. Because this is a budgeted amount. So once I actually pay for everything that I have listed in the first week, and I'll just come in and write the actual amount. That's the whole point of a budget. Like, this is what I'm projecting to roll over. And then I'm also gonna transfer. I'm gonna transfer that $900 over. Okay, I'm not going to, should I total it out? All right, let's go ahead and total it out. $44.97 plus 900. So $5,397. Let's minus the $782. So I'll have 4615. Okay, 4615. Now, what I can do is I can just fill this in. Let's go ahead and write all this stuff in. Because again, that's the whole point. I don't want to... Now, I did make one mistake. Okay, because I don't have any more space here, I'm gonna bring this down here. Is that I need to add Christmas. Okay, and I need to do that here too. I completely forgot to add that. And because I don't have any more space here, I'm just going to draw a line down here. So that changes our balance by 2,000. I'm going to change this real quick. Okay, so I know I set out to do the rest of the month, but here's what happened. One, my hand is hurting. My hand is hurting, so I can't do too much writing. And two, I think 2 weeks is good. I think 2 weeks is good, because as I get to the latter part of the month, I don't really start picking up on bills again until the last week. Until this week. So there's really very little that happens on the 14th. 20th, and then I start to pick up some action at the end of the month. So I'm sorry I set out to do all 4 weeks, but I can only do these 2 weeks, which I think is good. And I'll be more compelled to come back and fill it in, because one is 2 weeks. The hard part is done. Honestly, guys, the hard part is done. The budgeting is done. I just need to close out week 1, roll it over here, and let week 2 rock out. And I think we'll be in good shape here. And then week 2, see, also, I'm not doing anything this week, but I know the second week is when we're supposed to have some fun. Make sure I add that in there too. I don't have anything planned the first week. The first week, the kids are back in school all week. There's no fun. No one's turning up. No one's popcorn. No one's doing movies. No one's doing anything but back to the regularly scheduled program. So I shouldn't expect any kind of fun activities the 1st through the 5th, because that's a Sunday through a Friday. But the 6th through the 13th, oh yeah, girl, we outside. The kids, me, everyone's outside. So that's where that goes, okay? So like I mentioned in the beginning, yesterday I did the monthly budget. If you haven't had a chance to see that, I'll be sure to link it down below. Go ahead and check that out. And then today we set up the first 2 weeks of December, which is good, girl, which is progress. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to beat myself up. So please don't beat me up for not being able to do the entire month. But I think 2 weeks is good. Sufficient enough time for us to see how our money is doing. And again, if you're on my mailing list, you would have already received this monthly budget worksheet. If you still would like to get a copy, it's not too late. You can just click the link down below and get yourself a copy of this. If you have any issues getting a copy of this, please send me a message and let me know. Okay. So Diva, that is it. The first couple of days of Vlogmas is about me just getting on track with my December budget, but moving forward, girl, we are talking all future things. All right, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're going to be really getting into 2025 and all the things I plan on using in 2025, including my brand new budget planner for 2025. I look forward to sharing that with you, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And like always, I'll see you tomorrow. Later.